Conklin and Company with 13 ABC Action News anchor Lee Conklin. First with what's happening behind the headlines. And Take 3, our panel of political analysts.
Morning, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Conklin and Company. Today on the program, just over a month away from the general election, is there a little bit of a lull in the race for mayor in Toledo? Will talk about that, the run for city council as well. But the 2014 governor's race is ramping up. Both candidates in Northwest Ohio this past week. We're going to salute a unique school in Toledo, sending graduates eventually out to sea to get good paying jobs. We're going to talk with the president of the Maritime Academy of Toledo. But first, the call for a kitchen from an organization that's provided over 1 million meals to Lucas County children who might not otherwise have access to them. Tony Siebenek, the founder of Feed Lucas County Children, is here once again on Conklin and Company, and Mike Wieners, the chairman of the board of directors of Feed Lucas County Children. Great to have you both here again, and Tony, good to see you again.
Thanks for having us.
Here we are, and we've talked about this. The Cherry Street Mission has acquired the Macomber building, and eventually will be moving in. But in the meantime, Feed Lucas County Children serves meals out of that big industrial kitchen at the Macomber building. But the question is, for how long, Tony, are you still going to be at that facility?
We're just kind of really focusing on, the kids' meals are most important to us. And so right now we're just really trying to focus on making sure the kids get taken care of. And we're just kind of working on that, I guess.
Okay. That's a good way to, a nice way to say it, Tony. Working on it means what, Michael?
Well, the truth of the matter is that we've really been looking at getting out of that building for probably 3 years now. The ownership was in some question. As a result, the maintenance of that building was in some question. We've had issues with there going forward, and that in combination with the fact that we'd simply outgrown the space that we had leased, there wasn't really a lot else we could do irrespective of who owned it. And so we've been looking at build or buy and renovate really throughout that time as we explored options. So, when Cherry Street bought the building, then the question became, what were their plans? Could they include us? How might that go forward? And to a degree, we're really still talking about that. And we had a lease in place with the prior owners. We have a lease now. That goes out probably far longer than Cherry Street would like for purposes for them to use the building they bought. And so we're really looking in earnest now to see what our options are.
And we want to make it clear that these are two incredible organizations here. Yes. This is not a battle.
Not at all. I mean, my gosh, that building was empty except for us, and was really in significant disrepair. And for them to step up to the plate and put people together and try to consolidate their own operations and be more efficient. Gosh,
Dan Rogers does incredible work over there, incredible organization that does amazing things for the homeless in our community. So we want to make that clear. This is about need for a kitchen that, because of the volume that you do, Tony.
Right.
You need, I've seen this figure, $800,000, you think?
Yeah, it's going to take $800,000 to get a little larger kitchen, get have the space and everything. And granted, yes, if you stop in there today, we're a little cramped, but we've made it work. And so, Lee, the thing that we want to keep in mind is we are not reaching all of the kids in need in this county. If every child in need came to us today, let's just say, there is no way we would have the ability to reach them and to prepare all those meals.
Despite the fact we always trot out that over 1 million meals since you started this.
Right.
You haven't gotten everybody.
No. When we started this program 10 years ago, there was about 15,000 kids that lived at or below poverty. 10 years later, that number is now 33,000. So it's more than doubled. So unfortunately, the need is going up quicker than we can get to them. And in reality, it's going to be impossible to reach every child. That's just not going to happen. but we've made some huge gains over these years, and we know we can reach more. We just need a little bit more space, and so we can go after.
What would be the most economically feasible, Mike? Would it be to build new? And we see this in every type of situation, whether it's the United Way or build new or find an existing building that you can make it adapt to what you need.
And that's really been the struggle and the conversation over the last 3 years. You know, we've looked at open space that could be extensively renovated. We've got some fairly specific requirements in the scale of our food service operation and the hoods that are required and the gas services required and the electricity that's required and, you know, the entrance and egress to be able to move that many people in and out for delivering large numbers of meals over the summer.
It's not about stainless steel and granite countertops here. This is
this is bare bones, buddy.
Well, the stainless may be for health reasons,
okay.
but certainly not granite countertops. So I mean, I think, you know, it's way too early to say this is what we're going to do, but we were very heartened by Toledo Public Schools recently approving a resolution to enter into negotiations about a parcel of land that's downtown area where we need to be in order to be able to quickly and efficiently get to you know, 80 or 90% of our constituent organizations. You know, it's bare land. It's an old school site. We've got drawings.
Where's that site, Mike?
It's the old Washington School,
Sure.
right off of Collingwood there. And like I said, it's way too early to plant a future site of you know, out in the front lawn. But that's one of the things that we're really discussing in earnest right now. And you know, the plan there is to build a simple but, you know, structurally durable building that would be a little bit larger than the space we occupy now, and to have the opportunity to design it from scratch and maybe use the existing space way more efficiently than the sort of move-in that we did when we had to renovate the kitchen that's there currently in Macomber, which was not a small task either, and to move forward. So.
What would you tell someone who says, this is a tremendous cause, I'd like to think about giving to this cause? There's so many that are deserving. But Tony, you identify a child who might otherwise go without a meal. How does the meal come from your kitchen to that person's table at home? Well,
we've been very fortunately to have a lot of good volunteers help in this area, because we're actually going almost from, we're touching almost every side of the county. We've been able to develop some really great partnership with a lot of organizations, your churches, your schools, your community centers, and we just kind of become part of that community. And then we can find out where these kids are at, how many is in need, and you're just developing. I mean, we have a lot of great relationships with organizations out there, and I hope that's answering the question, but
you have a lot of help.
We have a lot. You know, this county is full of a lot of caring people.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, my goodness. You know, we have seen people, and we do have people that are so poor, and they come in and give back and volunteer, right down to some folks who are well off that will stop and come in and help. So we see all kinds of people come in there, and it's a pretty neat feeling.
Yeah. And so much so, what Feed Lucas County Children has done is that the USDA has been in conversation with you to possibly go make this a national model.
Yep.
And I know you've kind of been reticent to that, saying, no, this is about Lucas County here.
Yeah.
So
when we were in Washington, you know, they asked us to, they wanted to learn more about our food model. The thing that they told us was, you've got a good model. It could be something that could be used around the countryside, which really made us feel good that we're doing something pretty good. And, you know, but of course, you know, they're going to move at their pace, which is fine. And, but we've been able to demonstrate something that is actually reaching kids. And that's what is really what it's all about.
Okay, it is what it's all about. We appreciate you both being here. If you want more information on Feed Lucas County Children, their mission, go to their website. Everything's on that there. Mike Weiner, Chairman of the Board of Directors, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Tony Siebenek, as always, thanks again.
Yep,
we'll see you down the road. Best of luck as you embark on what is an adventure to find a new space, right? to provide food for Lucas County children. Thanks very much.
Great.
We're going to come back on Conklin and Company in just a minute. Stay with us.